I started typing this, but it was getting really long, so I was going to make a quick video. And just, this is how I came to work at Microsoft, in that I loved computers ever since I was 10 years old. I remember typing games into my TI-99 4A up in beautiful summer days, only to lose all my work because I didn't have any external storage. And I knew that I loved doing it. But then I went to college, got a degree, not in computer science. But while I was there, I worked in the Mac lab and handed out disks for boot up disks in exchange for people's ID. And so one day I walked over to the IBM lab and I saw Windows 3.0 and I said, this is really cool, and they're gonna be onto something here. So then I graduated, took the first job that I had at Edelman PR, unrelated to technology, which kind of stunk. But then I took a chance and went to work with my brother-in-law in a startup consulting company that did IT consulting. He worked for McKinsey for a while, so he had some connections that got us started. But I immediately got us into the Microsoft Partner Program, and that would get me some contacts in Microsoft. And coincidentally, this was 1991 now, and I started calling Steve Ballmer pretty much every week. And that was when you had a cellular one car phone. I'd call him on my way home from work. And I ended up getting to know Debbie Hill really well I literally did this for probably 4 or 5 years. And so one Christmas, I sent Debbie a poinsettia thanking her for taking my calls. And then I lied to her and told her that I was going to be in Seattle for Christmas that year and asked if she could get me a meeting with Steve Ballmer. So she said, yeah, for sure. And we set it all up. Of course, I didn't know anybody here, but I flew here, bought my own hotel, bought my own flight, which was super expensive for me at the time. And when I showed up, he declined the meeting last minute. And then Beth Baumgartner, I met with her at the time. I think she was the head of HR, and that didn't work out. She's like, "Why are we here? Like, what is this meeting going on?" Anyway, I left. And I said, if I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to have to move to Seattle. Got married. I did a WinFax, if anybody remembers that, with Chicago, the beta of XP or 95, and did a WinFax of the Hoover's database to the whole 206 area code. And a company called Timeline, a Microsoft partner, hired me, moved me here as a salesperson. And then I got to know more and more people at Microsoft. Well, after, I got better jobs at HP, and I started a technology blah blah company. And then after Compaq, I went to go work at Compaq, and then Compaq was bought by HP. I took the package and decided this was the time that I was going to go work at Microsoft, and that's when I eventually came to work here. I had to take a big cut in pay, but it was something that I had worked for probably 10 or 15 years that eventually came to be. And there's kind of a weird thing about achieving that goal, and that then you're like, now what? So that's when I wanted to go work at Xbox, and then there were so many opportunities in Microsoft that opened up for me, and it's such an amazing company. So that's my story. Oh, and then I had dinner with Steve one night when I was in the Platinum Club, and he was like, "Were you the guy that kept calling me?" Anyway, that was a weird conversation. Anyway, that's it. That's my story.